Okay, this is just to take you through how we will, but just my solution to the problem. Let's just see it running to start with. All right, so here is my graphical user interface. Here are my results. So I can enter in results, it displays them here. I click on save and it puts them in my debug folder. And here it is all the testing that I've done previously, but there is the most recent one. You can see it's been entered in there. Okay, so let's go through the code. All right, so here we have, so we import system.io, that's so that we can copy and save, so we can save and load files or read and write files. And then here we've got all the variables declared that we're going to use in different subroutines throughout the whole program. Now, because of the nature of it, I've stored everything as strings because we've got names, we've got results, we've got a whole bunch of other things there, and we can store them all as strings. I didn't want to store anything as numbers or integers or floats or doubles or anything like that because I don't think we need it as much. So we've just left everything as strings. In this case, that's okay. Not ideal, but we're not doing any calculations or anything like that, so we can just leave it all as strings. Okay, so this is the standard thing that comes with the your initialization subroutine. So what we're doing here, we are creating a file stream object or instance file stream class, and we're doing that. We're looking for the events.txt file, and we're saying we're going to open it. Then from there, we create a stream reader. My names aren't very good here. I could have called them something else. And then likewise here. So here we have an array that we're going to, so it's a string, so it's an array of strings that now we are going to store the variable in, or sorry, the file into. And then we've got your index here, which is also just a number that we're going to use to iterate through. So we've got a while loop, and what the while loop does, it checks to see if there's another value in the file. If there is, it then reads it into the array. So it works through, and then it does that over and over and over again because it's in a do while loop. So that's how that'll end up working there. From there, so Windows opening and closing. From there, we then close the file stream and the stream reader, and then did the same thing here with the age. So exactly the same thing happened there. Okay, so from there, then we have our button click. So this is where everything gets collected and displayed. So student name field.text, so whatever text is in the name field, which is the where you put your name in, obviously. The event name, event menu text, so it takes whatever you've been selected. Same thing with the age, and then the result. I've called it time dist because we can put a time or a distance in there. Then from there we check to see which radio button is clicked, and then we set the gender that's being displayed. The next line down. We've got a variable so just for today's date. Which is then stored this date entered, and then from there what I did is I combined all the strings or all the results and all the information in one string called result string. So that is results, which it'll print to screen or put in the label, and then we've got there now this is, I think they call it a return carriage or something like that. Basically a new line. There you go, it represents a return carriage character. So put the student name, swear student age, display gender, event name, event result, and so on. So all the values are there. And then it sets it, and then it sets the result label. So that's a label that everything is being displayed to as the result string. So it sets it to this value here. We've got a very crude error checking, and this is just for validation. It's not for type or anything else like that. It just checks to see if the data entered has been any of these things here. So if the student name is empty, or the event name is empty, or the student age is empty, then we get a message box saying please clear fill all fields. From there, then we've got another, so then we end the subroutine, then we start the next subroutine, which is a saving. So we call a stream writer object. Once again, could have done better with the name, which is called a file. And then from there we're telling basically where to go to, or where we can find it in the computer. So we're looking for this file results.txt, set the true because that's what we want to write to because it's boolean. Then we write the string to the file, so we're going to write result string to this file, and then we end up closing it as well. So that's the way all of that works. So we see it in action again. Let's just see what happens if we don't enter anything in. Press display, it's telling us that all fields need to be filled. If we just do 1, click display, nothing, so it's still not quite right. If we save it, nothing should be saved. So then from there we need to enter in. Now I've got a bit of a problem with this where we can change the values here. That's something I need to look at. And likewise with this. So save, display, save, and then we can close it down, check the file again, refresh, made 818, let's have a look. So let's see how that's all worked out. Okay, so that was the latest one that's saved when it shouldn't have, so we've got to look at what we can do with that one there, but that's another error that needs to be checked. So they're the steps that we take. So that's what I've got there for code. For the GUI, it's not perfect, it's not exact, but it works. So this would be the kind of thing that we look at and say, do I have the rubric open? My rubric is the one. So I gave you guys. Yep, so object names, so they are appropriately labeled. I've used most of the processing features, actually, if not all, because I've used loops and things like that. I use subroutines to get things sorted. I've got the array, so that's scoring high there. External files, all files working correctly. Calculations, there was no calculations done, so this is not part of it, but you will have to do some calculations. Interface, probably minor issues, because I don't tab properly, and my drop down menu isn't quite right. So internal documentation is there, so it's one of these two here. All functional requirements being met, it does the job, it does everything it's supposed to do. All non-functional requirements, yeah, pretty much it does all of those. A testing table, I don't have a testing table, but I've got one of those for the Python task.